This for sure hasn't been my best week for a long time now. Almost -4% week. Doesn't sound like a good one, but for sure there will be a lot of stuff to be learned. Okay, so basically this week was pretty bad, pretty hard on me. Almost a -4% week. It's obviously not a tragedy, but it's a pretty big loss. So let's see what exactly happened and what we can learn from this week. Obviously, it's a pretty big losing week. It's a -386.18 week. So let's see with the trades what exactly happened. The first one was a scratch. Let's see where exactly it was on the chart. So most important thing is to see where Monday has started. So let's see Monday. Oh, it's been quite a big week, to be honest. It's a big move up this Monday, from this Monday towards. Okay, so it should be around here. No, this is the former week. So something like this, right? Okay, that's it. So for this Monday, we had a buy around 186 at New York session, so around here. We had this buy. Let's put the magnet off. So we had this buy here, and then we compounded it at 21.37. Same day, 37, so somewhere around here, right? What I thought at this point is that we will break out of this range and go higher right off the bat and take weekend price action high, right? But this didn't happen. I'm not exactly sure why it didn't happen. I guess it was an FOMC week, and that kind of made the price action struggle a lot until after the FOMC. Right, so I just closed it pretty much because I thought that we would go way lower around here. Well, this is fine, obviously, this week. It was very random for me and for my tactic. So what I did as for the next trade was I actually shorted because I thought that, okay, if we wouldn't go higher here, we should be going lower. So this was on Tuesday. I shorted once we broke down, right? So I shorted around here, right? I shorted out of moving downside of the overnight range around here. So this has to be with red. So I shorted here. Obviously it was pretty sad, it didn't work out, and the pump happened after the New York session once again. I have noticed that a lot of pump has happened after New York session or right before or during the overnight range, which is extremely bad because it happens on no volume. It is what it is, right? You can't do much. So I lost this trade here. That trade is exactly this one here. So I lost this -36.2. Then what I started doing, from what I can see here, is I started taking London session trades. This wasn't the best in my opinion. It was pretty bad. I think I should restrain myself from taking London session trades because it makes no sense, and I am depleting a lot of mental capital for this. So let's see exactly what happened. This on Wednesday was started at 11:05. Okay, so what does 11:05 mean? 11:05 means that we were around, oh sorry, what was it, a short trade? Yeah, it was a short trade. So 11:05 we're around here, right? 11:05 we were around here, took this short, and then I think I compounded it at it was basically in profit, right? So we had the profit at 20 hours 55, so somewhere around, what was it, 96 to 111. So this was the compound here, right? So what I thought about this is, okay, we hit the point of control from the big range This will take a while. So we hit the point of control from the big range, which was the former range here, right? It was 96,997, and also it was quite a big move happening on, in my opinion, not much volume, and no New York session movement, right? This was very important for me. So at this point I thought, okay, we will just go lower. Maybe we retest 91k CME high, and then maybe we go higher. I was obviously in profit, decent profit. Unfortunately, what happened is that I went to sleep at some point here, and I thought, okay, it's not a problem, I just leave the trade open. I didn't put a stop break even this week on a lot of trades because I just didn't think to myself that all the moves will happen overnight or before overnight range. So what happened is at 4 a.m. I lost the trade. It went to my stop, which was around 97,900. So somewhere around here, right? It is what it is. Overnight range move once again. It's unfortunate. Like I guess this is this is after the FOMC. We didn't really have good numbers anyway, but what can you do? Okay, then we had another trade, 99,429 at same kind of 11. Okay, so I remember this trade vividly. What happened here is I wanted to trade, give me a second, I want to trade this right here. I wanted to trade another short from here because, as I said, I thought that if it's overnight movement, it will get reversed at some point. Also, I thought about the 100k psychological psychological level, and I said, okay, look, everybody's bullish on a move that happened basically on no volume after New York session. All this move anyway started after New York session. All this move from 84k started after New York session most of the time. So I thought, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. I didn't even get to compound this one, by the way, but I had my stop quite far up because I thought we wouldn't be getting this much volume. Obviously the big move happened. This one actually happened during the New York session. Unfortunately, I was caught the wrong way. It's not much of a big deal. I don't mind this too much, right? So I got stopped out here. I thought that, okay, 102k, it's whatever. I got stopped out. That would be, so the last two trades were this one, which I got out of at 4 a.m. unfortunately, and this one. It's pretty big losses. But after these two big losses, I don't know, on Friday, I'm not going to say that I was tilted because I wasn't extremely tilted. I just thought, okay, we had a big move from 99.4 to 102 at pretty much New York session. So now I thought that I was going to expect some good movement on Friday, because on Friday, what happened on Friday is I took some trades expecting for this weekend POC to be taken. This weekend POC is taken from the range here. Not weekend, sorry, weekly POC is taken from this range here, from the all-time high that we had before. And I thought, okay, this is a pretty important level, right? So it's a pretty important level. So what I did come Fridays, I thought I could just take a trade starting from the 102k range that had some wicks here up to 104.9k. Well, little did I know, right? I took my trade first. The first trade was at 12.49 and it was a long, right? 102.691. So let's see where was 12. 12 was around here, 691. So I started here. I started with a long. So what I did is I kept compounding, right? So I kept compounding at 13.45, so somewhere around here. Then I compounded at what was it, 16.56? So it was in the New York session. 16.46 should be around here. So I compounded around here, and then I compounded around here, and then I don't know. I thought about, if I don't see a good move upside, because I was expecting it to at least take the overnight high, right? Like, just take the overnight high. Like, why would you keep overnight high here with the PA? Especially since the New York session from yesterday, they actually got some fuel in it. So Unfortunately, I closed it at 17:20 my time with minus 3 PNL, which is basically nothing. But so what I did is close around, I think close around here, right? So at this point I was okay. This week here didn't want to take the overnight high. So if it didn't want to take the overnight high, then we have a lot of pressure from the sellers. Unfortunately, this didn't work out neither, because I started shorting then, right? I started shorting here, and I tried to build up a position. I don't think it's here, right? It's a bit earlier. Yeah, it's a bit earlier. So it's about here. I tried to build up a position by shorting here, then shorting it a bit higher when it went higher. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, right? I didn't get this move. I wanted at least a move to the downside to like take 100k, right? Just go 100k and then go higher. Like take some liquidity and then go higher. But this didn't happen, unfortunately. And I was kind of let down at this point. But I still wanted to try my idea of, okay, listen, I want to have a move. I want to see what's going on, right? Because I expected at least something to move on. And so this trade equated with a pretty big loss, unfortunately. It was a minus 78 loss. Because I closed a big part of the trade around here, but then I kept the other one and I closed it around here, right? So I think, I don't know, 30-40% of the trade I closed here, and this one I closed with like minus 20. So it was a minus 78 at that time. Let's see on the XL. So on the XL it was this one, right? So I closed it at minus 78. I tried compounding it on the lows, right? I tried compounding it on the lows here. So by trying to compound it here, it didn't really do much for me. And so basically what happened is another lost day. Again, this is not a problem. The only problem is that I couldn't really completely, I don't think guessing is the right word, but let's say guess where the market is going to go. I just wanted to see if my ideas were good. I was in profit in both trades, on both trades that I had that were big ones, with pretty big volume. But I just thought, okay, listen, I'm waiting for a bigger move because these moves on New York session don't suffice. Unfortunately, sometimes just the tactic and the chart doesn't go in your favor, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. What I tried next on the weekend, Saturday morning chart was, I tried to, where was it? Let's see on the XL. Basically what I did was I shorted 103,652 on 10.41. So what I did next was shorting around here, right? So I shorted around here, and I said, okay, listen, New York session didn't do anything, didn't take the high from Friday overnight high. And I thought, okay, we're here on the weekend. We had a decent pump. We had good invalidation, so my invalidation was basically this. Unfortunately, weekend moved sharply higher. Like, look at this, and then it just created a range on the overnight high. And now on the overnight range for today, for Monday, we already moved way higher, and we're moving out of this range. Obviously, I'm not completely sure what's going to happen here, but yeah. So I lost this trade as well. So basically, this week was full of losses. My trades, most of them were winning, but at some point they turned out to be losers. I don't really mind that, to be honest. I just need to learn from this, right? So let's go to the XL and actually see what we can learn from this week, right? So we're gonna make a learnings page and say week 2, right? From week 1, there weren't many trades. The only thing that I could have done better for sure is keeping the trades a bit more time and give them a bit more leeway. So let's do this and let's see what we can write here. So first of all, I think the first thing that I have to do in order to better my trading is stop expecting the moves to be solely in the New York session time. This is very important. So I was expecting a lot of these moves to be on the New York session time, and whenever the New York session time was bringing results, I was expecting it to continue for the next day as well. This was one of the big mistakes. Then I should say that profit in trades is fine if you want to de-risk, especially overnight. Then just place the stop at break even, right? So scratch trade at most. This is very important. I think I lost a lot of trades just by the fact that I was in profit, but I expected and I played for a bigger move. But when I play for a bigger move, I should probably de-risk and place my stop at break even just to alleviate any kind of random movement in the market which happens, right? Then I should probably note that if the week is FOMC week, before FOMC, try to trade for smaller moves, because what I did is starting the week with the expectancy of the weekend price action high to be taken on Monday, and then I lost that trade even though it was going to be a big winner. So trade for smaller moves, play as if smaller moves are just optimal before FOMC, right? And then if the week is FOMC, be careful of trading the days after the FOMC happening. It can vary a lot from your system. So it can vary a lot from my system whenever the days of FOMC week trade randomly, like a lot of trades or volume happen, not even volume, just the moves happening on overnight ranges or before overnight ranges. New York session not being not giving that many moves. Exactly what happened on Friday, right? So these four points are pretty good ones. Another thing I did is I tried trading with bigger size than the week before, just because I thought I can handle it. I thought it makes sense risk wise. I think it's good. So what I will say here is trading with slightly bigger size is okay, but the risking is necessary. Okay, right? And then one more thing that we have to keep in mind is try taking way less trades outside of New York session, even if tempted to take it. What happens is that whenever I take trades in New York session or after before New York session, so London session or after New York session, I have a lot of mental capital issues, because being in a trade is not the best of ideas whenever you're expecting big moves to happen. So for example, what I can say here is preserve mental capital, and being in a trade, not being in a trade is bigger than being in a trade most of the time. This is especially important for me, so I'll just bold it. Not being in a trade is way better than being in a trade more often than not. And let me explain how this I came to this conclusion, right? So how I came to this conclusion is, okay, let me just delete all these things. So how I came to this conclusion is the following. Let's say I took delete some of this. Okay, let's just take this. So let's say I took this short in the London session of the overnight high, which didn't really give me any quote-unquote signal, right? So from here to here, I just depleted my mental capital for no reason, staying in a trade and not knowing what's going to happen with this trade anyway, right? So here is just pure mental capital depletion. Now, let's just say I'm not in this trade. That I don't have a stop loss, I don't have anything, so I don't care about it. If I'm not in this trade, here on the New York session start, we had an actual retest of the overnight range. So I could have said, okay, listen, there was no there was no power from the sellers to drop the price lower, at least like to half of the overnight range in London session. If we have this retest of the overnight high, overnight range on the New York session, why wouldn't we just buy here and see what's gonna happen next, right? Because the chart was literally telling me there is no power from the sellers, just buy the retest, right? But this can't happen because I'm already in this trade, and when you're in a trade, you just don't think about anything else other than whatever is in your trade for yourself, and you're always seeing what's better for you. So this cognitive dissonance is very hard to get by if you're in a trade, because if I'm in this trade here with this short, right? So let's say I was in this trade here with my short, I'm never gonna see the possibility of going higher because I'm in a short. At least this is how it happens to me. So it's better to not be in any trade. It's better to just wait New York session most of the times, right? This is one very important point that I have for myself. Just wait for better trades. Waiting for better trades is way more efficient for my mental. Okay, so now let's see what we can expect from this week, right? So we already moved over the weekend PA high on this London overnight session. Right now, to be honest, we have this CME, right? I think it's the CME high. I mean, is it CME high or is it CME low? I mean, it's basically nothing, right? It's basically nothing. This is literally nothing here. It can be hit, but I don't think it matters too much. The weekend PA low can probably be taken, and you can see maybe a move below this range like this, you know, and back in the range. Maybe we can create a range high. This is one of the things that I'm thinking about. And then honestly, there's not much here that you can trade other than locally. I can expect a bigger drop to the downside because there's literally no proper move to the upside. Most of this is just overnight ranges pushing higher, maybe a bit of like even this one here, you see, even this one is like after New York session, like you have two big candles of like what, 3k move after New York session. I don't really buy this, right? We can obviously see a move to 100k and have it as support. I would honestly prefer a move to 97k because it's a big POC, and then have it as support. Then we can say, listen, we're going from here or from here, and we can just play it in a range where you have pretty much 7-8k range worth of PA. What I think that can happen is we have a lot of POCs here, to be honest, like this range from the start of the move, from like 80, what was it, 87, 88k, where we broke from this range here. Yeah, we have this 94.6, and I think it's pretty close to the weekly TOP. I mean, it's a high volume node, right? Probably. Yeah, it's a high volume node. So this is the high volume node here. I would like this as well. Like, this is my preferred scenario if I had to choose. 94.2k would probably destroy a lot of people. Will we stop around here? Will we stop around here for a buy? I'm not completely sure, if you ask me, because there is a lot of inventory here. There is a lot of inventory here, a lot of inventory here, a lot of stops here. This is the CME high here that wasn't taken as well. We have this very big 0.7 Fibonacci here. Also, all this move started, as I said before, on weekend PA and Easter time. We can easily see this happening, right? We can easily see a big move to the downside this week. But we cannot exclude just the chart going higher and higher for now. Can we expect an all-time high? Sure, we can expect an all-time high, but I wouldn't place my money on this all-time high. And I'm thinking that if I will take any shorts from around here, right? So let's say you take a short from here and you start compounding it, right? Where would your stop loss be? Can it be on the all-time high? Yeah, I guess it can be here, right? I think that if my my position is big enough, I might keep it here. There's a lot of 4 hours here. A lot of 4 hours here. It might be a pretty big resistance. This can already be lower high. I think lower high makes sense. So let's see what we can do here. I think I will just start the week with waiting for the New York session. I'm gonna wait and see what's happening in the London session very soon. It already started for an hour actually, almost, but this is not concluded at all. So I'm just gonna wait, see for the next 4-hour candles what's going on, see how fast we can move to the upside or the downside. In my opinion, I'm still expecting lower from here, but I'm waiting for the New York session, and my trade entry will probably be somewhere around here, right? Somewhere around here. I think this will be my first short if I have the chance, but I would like it to move a bit here and then retest this zone for me to take the short. Right? Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope it made sense. Unfortunately, it was a losing week, but we always have to think about it, because the losses are what builds our resilience. The losses are what builds our psychology. We just have to be better next week, and that's that. Take care.